Alright, welcome back, everyone.
Hello.
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 Last week we left off with people standing in front of kind of the Library of Yitras in Mansque.
Right.
As well as I think two of our group in a gambling den.
I believe
Yep.
so, yes. I couldn't remember if you guys left or not.
No, we did not.
Okay. In which I ran probably the worst round of craps ever. And anybody professional would have probably scolded me heavily. Too bad I turned it into a form of higher or lower.
Lantern didn't do a great job, but she does feel like she learned something from the experience, so there you go.
And that learning is not that this is not the aspect of Verasta she's used to.
It's not the one she really feels the need to get closer to. Like, she's happy to get closer to nature and, like, understanding the chaos of the world. And, you know, she knows how to gamble. And now she can say she's done it, but it didn't really feel like it was for her.
Reasonable. I think Lantern's more of the scratch tickets type anyways.
More of the what?
Scratch ticket.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Too bad those won't be invented for another 1,000 years.
Or slot machine. If they just had one of those where you pull the lever, she would end up in a problem with that because of the bright and color. And the ding, ding, ding noise.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Good
except
thing for Lantern, those aren't going to be invented for another 500 years.
Yeah, electronics kind of have to be a little bit more of a thing first.
I'm just getting the image of Lantern being so entranced by the bright lights and everything that she winds up inside of the slot machine.
That's why casinos have a strict no Kobold policy.
Henry, there's a kobold in the slot machine.
Not again.
Not again.
Get the keys.
I love how all of us had the same thought.
Get the stick.
Okay, anyways. So, to make up for something I completely forgot last week, there was an additional piece of mail with Dori stuff. However, Dori, it's directed towards Lantern.
Oh, okay.
As you hold it, though, even without magic, there's a certain air of awkwardness to the letter. Like, you can tell that whoever was writing this was not 100% sure on how to respond while writing it.
Okay. Yeah. It's
to Lantern.
I know who it's from, and
Nobody's ever expecting a letter from a kobold. And then they're surprised when it's exactly like you would expect from a letter from a kobold.
so it's in my letter, but addressed to Lantern.
Yes, it's a separate letter, but it was in the stuff that came from your place.
Okay. Okay, so I'll be like, oh, I bet Victorine wrote that to Lantern. I'll have to make sure to give it to her.
Okay, cool.
Alrighty.
I think we need to get a picture of everybody when we haven't been in a dungeon just
As you're looking over the picture that you took from everybody in the dungeon,
Yeah.
beat up and battered you all look.
Yeah, you know, I'm worrying my mother rather badly, it looks like.
Who are you looking at as you say this?
I'm actually looking at the letter.
Okay, so
You know, clearly responding to things that have been said in the letter.
Fiona will write her letter to her parents right away, but she wants to talk to a couple of people before she pens a letter to her master.
Okay. Anyone else? Oh.
I think Linter's here, yeah.
Rose is probably gonna take some time to write another letter, not do it right now. Probably when they're back at the inn or something.
Okay.
Should we just
Yeah.
head back to the wagon, or just go about our day?
Well, I need to stop at a jewelry store real quick.
Okay.
Well, you do know where one is.
Yep. So,
Do you remember what it's called?
the Crystal Eye.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Well, Dori is heading over there. Anyone else doing anything?
Again, I don't think I'm here yet.
I mean, you still be doing something over there with Bruno.
No, I think probably after playing a couple of games that she resoundingly does not win, I think Lantern is going to just kind of.
You know what? Give me a dex and an intelligence check. And an amount of gold. That can be evenly split between two.
Like, do you want me to roll a number of gold?
No,
Just tell you how much
just
she's
roll-
randomly betting.
What was that?
Or just an amount that I'm betting, or what are we looking for here?
Just an amount you're okay with losing.
8 gold total.
Okay.
Christ.
God.
Not one on
Oh,
the
no.
okay.
Am I also rolling a check, or
Lantern said she was gambling, so
No, I said that I spent that I was not gambling. That after losing, I was just kind of.
oh, okay. Sorry, it sounded like you were.
No,
No.
she decided that gambling is not something
Okay.
she's good at.
It's just the way you put it. It sounded like she was willing to.
No, sorry about that.
No,
That
that's
was confusingly phrased on my part. Lantern has decided that she's maybe more into the nature aspects of Rasta than the gambling aspects of Rasta.
Especially with that nat 1 int check as you try to study some of the other games and.
I
Yeah.
think
It's the angle you're standing at. Maybe it's how fast things are moving.
maybe part of it is, and this is just a conjecture, that Lantern is 3 feet tall, and so she's mostly seeing the underside of cards.
Exactly.
So I think
Also, some
She's-
discarded gum on the underside of some of the tables.
she is going to lean into Bruno and whisper, "There's one guy who's secretly eating orange slices under the table. He thinks nobody's noticing because he's hiding behind his cards when he does it, but he's definitely eating orange slices under the table. I don't understand anything else I'm looking at."
Oh, Lantern.
Bruno, you look and you're pretty sure those are tangerine slices. Either way, not cheap to get in this area.
No, that's an
No.
expensive snack. Lantern's impressed by the snack and also by the dexterity with which this individual is managing to pretend he is not eating it at the table. But she saw, because he wasn't expecting someone 3 feet tall to be around.
You are. Well, that's not entirely true. Nobody's expecting a kobold to be around.
That's true. Did you get your thing?
Yes, I did.
Okay. I think I'm done losing money on games. And the best way to not lose money on games is not spend money on games.
True. That is very true. The best way to make money on games is to spend money on games, but now probably isn't the best time to try and get you started.
I can make money by selling stuff we find in dungeons.
Well, that too, yes.
You sound distant, Bruno.
Really? Oh,
I
I
like
think I
you're
know what happened.
underwater.
I bet you it didn't switch to my mic like it was supposed to. Give me
Probably.
a sec.
Yeah.
Mm.
I hate when it does that. And that's exactly what it was.
All right. Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Yes.
Much
Oh, much
better.
better.
Much better.
Thing doesn't auto switch like it's supposed to.
That's
How rude.
very annoying.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, well. Okay, so. While you guys are leaving, is anybody going with Dori, or is she on her own to the Crystal Eye?
Oh, that's the magic shop.
I know that's the jewelry shop.
No.
Oh,
jewelry
jewelry
shop.
shop. Yeah.
Emerald Candle is the magic shop.
Right.
Or at least the one that you guys know of.
Thorn will accompany Dori.
Okay, cool.
Fiona will probably go back to the wagon because she doesn't really have any shopping she wants to do.
Yeah. Dori will tell
Okay.
her this is going to be a pretty quick stop. And then he'll be by the wagon.
All right.
Because
Okay.
there's a spell component I need.
So, as you guys are entering the Crystal Eye, you are met with the look of the possible proprietor yawning in a way that puts a lion to shame.
That's impressive.
Yep.
And then
Hello.
he kind of looks at you both with that half-lidded expression. Ah, welcome to the Crystal Eye. Oh, it's you two again. How are things going?
Things are going okay.
Heard you
Thorn gives a thumbs up.
fixed a quick problem we suddenly had.
Uh-oh.
A dungeon.
Oh, yes. That was fun. Question.
Answer.
I am looking for a pearl that costs about 100 gold.
Very specific, very specific.
Very specific, yes.
Spell component or someone special?
Yes.
Spell component.
Spell
Okay.
component.
Yeah, I can do something like that for you, he says as he walks away from the counter up to a shelf of drawers, basically, along the back wall. as he starts going through the drawers for a moment. Are we picky on purity, or do we just need
100 gold piece pure.
pure?
Pearl.
Okay.
Pearl, not necessary.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter as long as it's big enough that I'm not going to lose it, like in the schemes of things.
Alright, so we're not looking for something that can... here we go. He says, opening up a drawer, pulling out a small selection of pearls before coming over to the counter. These are all kind of the ones in the area of spellcasting that are the price you're looking for. Some are smaller than others. They're not all perfectly circular, though rarely are pearls ever.
Yeah.
In the wild. But they range from a couple inches across to something you're concerned you might lose on accident. Yeah. Something for simple context, they're about the size of a regular D20, just oblonged.
Yeah. She'll look for something that's maybe about an inch wide.
Easy enough. He has a few of those.
Yeah. That looks like decent.
Not too ugly.
Yeah.
Because these are all unprocessed pearls. Or
that's fine.
Unpolished, unsmoothed.
Yeah, she's just looking for something that doesn't look cheap. Doesn't have to be the most beautiful pearl, but not like cheap.
You do find a few in that area.
Yeah. That's about what I'm looking for, sir.
Okay. Says, scooping up the rest back into the bag he pulled them from, before looking over to you, Thorn, and asking if you're looking for anything.
I mean, Thorn's looking at like the earrings and that type of jewelry, but he's not like if he picks anything up, he's not putting it to his ears. He's kind of putting it on his antlers. And when he gets mentioned, he quickly puts everything back, puts his hands behind his back. I'm okay. I'm here with Dori. I'm okay.
There's the first time you see the slightest smirk as you quickly put the costume jewelry back. It's by no means... It's definitely an amused one, but you are no means being judged for what you were just doing.
Mm-hmm.
Dori's giving him a very speculative look.
Oh, no.
There's so much real estate to put jewelry on if you have antlers.
There is. He had a lot picked out. Maybe we'll come back. Right now is not the time.
Okay.
Okay. That works.
So if we're all finished, story, I'm ready to go.
I'm done.
He sounds almost ashamed.
Poor Thorn.
Aw.
So 100 gold pearl.
Okay.
Give it over.
Yep. Give you the gold. Thank you, my good sir.
Of course.
And after they leave the shop, Dori looks over at Thorn. Was it too expensive? You just don't want to admit you like pretty things?
Well, you see, Dori, I became a Delver so I could go back home and get married because we were not making enough out there. So I needed a source of income, and I want to look good for my fiance and my family to be, and I don't know how to do that. So I figured I could look and just have your presence there and not think it's for me, but I don't know. I don't know how to do this. I'm worried. And I guess it looked cool.
Well, Dori is giving him a look of, the cat and the catnip.
So many people have asked you to help them dress. Your talents are being recognized.
I know, it's great. Well, you know what we need to do?
What's that?
We need to sit down. We need to figure out. By the way, who's your fiance? What's her name? Is she another elk? Gotta get the deets here. Come on.
Look. I will give you details another time. Let's get back to the wagon. Let's get back to the group. I actually, funny enough, when we first met and you were writing music, I wanted to bring it up to you and tell you all about her, but I didn't have the courage at the time. So let's revisit this. I'm a little overwhelmed right now.
Okay. Okay. You can tell me whenever you want. I mean, I don't mean to be pushy. I'm just curious.
I will tell you. You will be the first to know, I promise. Let me gather my thoughts.
Okay. She'll pat him on the shoulder and then she'll link her elbow with his.
Thorn will just go along with it.
Good choice.
And Dori is plotting.
Oh dear.
Dori is very
And
much.
Bruno is shivering.
Bruno, a sensation like somebody just decorated your grave goes down your spine.
You feel a great disturbance in the force, as though 1,000 voices cried out and were suddenly silenced.
Bruno recognizes this shiver and goes, "Oh no."
Someone's given her validation.
Dori's, what did you say, Bruno?
Plotting. Bruno proceeds to hide. He wants nothing to do with her plots.
Wait, why have you ducked into an alcove? Bruno, all I said was that I thought that ice cream cones would be good covered in peanuts. Was that scary? Are peanuts frightening to you? Please, I need to know for future menus.
You are fine. You are not why I'm hiding. Don't worry. It sounds odd, but I'm willing to try it. For that menu choice. But no, I'm currently trying to hide from Dori, and I know she's nowhere near.
Oh, okay. I will hide with you.
Good plan! As he hides her from view with his shield from the mouth of the alley.
She doesn't know why we're hiding, but as long as we're hiding, we might as well do it as a group.
Oh no.
As you're doing
Strength in numbers. All kobolds know this.
As you're doing it, a couple of little alley rats are looking at you guys in confusion before fleeing because they don't want to. Whatever's going on, a pair of delvers are defensively hiding in the alley and they want nothing to do with it.
No part of this.
Nope, fuck that.
Yep. He only stays hidden for about half an hour, but still.
Only a half hour.
Jeez, what has Dori done to you to traumatize you so?
Whatever she feels like.
Years and years of it.
Yep.
Oh no.
Yeah, they've been friends since they were what, about 12?
Something like that. Yeah. He was about. Let's see. I think he was about 10. No, that's when he became a. That's when he learned about Verasta.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Oh dear.
they met when Bruno or when Dori's brother introduced her,
Yeah.
introduced her to his friends,
Yeah.
which included Bruno's father, who introduced Bruno.
And he's been regretting it ever since.
Well, Bruno's father hasn't been.
Well, he's not regretting much anymore.
No.
No.
He's
But
regretting very
we'll get to that later.
Anyway.
Yes. Let's see here. Fiona, you're just heading back to the wagon
Yeah,
in the kind of crowded parked area.
kinda, yeah. She figured it's a good meeting point for them, at the very least. Since they didn't really agree on a place to meet up after their errands.
Once Bruno's done hiding, Lantern will also head back to the wagon.
So will Bruno.
And what is Vellos up to throughout all of this?
That was a good question. I am drawing a blank. Oh no.
The pressure is on.
I honestly, he probably, if they're, since they all kind of scattered, he'd probably just say he's gonna wander the city for a bit, do some exploring, meet them back at the tavern.
Oh, if that's what you're going to do, Fiona's going to ask you to keep an eye out for a fighting pit. Or a sparring ring.
Fellows will do that.
Thank you!
Are you heading back to the errant fireball specifically?
Yeah, he figured. Yeah, we are. Yeah, he'd confirmed that we're gonna stay at the same tavern again, but once he knew that, yeah, he'd return there once he was done.
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
Yep,
Hello.
still hear you.
Okay, that was just a really long, awkward silence.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, so you're just heading back to the one tavern.
Yeah, he'd wander the
Okay.
city for a while and keep an eye out for a fighting pit or an arena
Give
sparring
me
place.
a perception check.
Okie dokie. Perception. Okay. Oh, shit. Not 20.
Nice.
Oh,
24.
impressive.
I guess he's really excited to see another bigger city.
Well, Velas, as you're wandering on your own, you notice that people keep looking at you specifically.
Yeah,
Like,
his
it's kind of the
mind.
same thing as when you first came here.
Yeah, his mind goes back to what his parents mentioned in the letter.
It's not as bad as it had been when you first came here.
It's a little unnerving.
suffice to say, people are going to be making up stories about you for a couple of weeks, you get the feeling.
Oh, lovely.
I saw the dragon. He was right in front of me. It was crazy.
I saw a dragon and he said this kind of stuff.
Even though you never interacted with them.
Exactly.
Oh, God.
However,
Fucking
as
rumor
you
mill.
search, you do find a few things that were almost what Fiona was looking for. They're more. It's all more geared towards the arcane arts.
Darn.
Makes sense with this city. and
Fiona was
its
afraid of that, which is why she didn't really feel like looking for herself. But if someone was already ready, right? Fiona's not interested in wizard duels. No wizard would really want to duel her, even if punching wizards out would be funny.
And even then, as you check, it's not so much fighting as it is more displays.
Oh, it's show-off arenas.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah,
So
as
this
soon
is
as Vellos.
The Vellos, you kind of understand why, given the kind of damage magic can do to the body.
Yeah, I kind of get it, but still, it's. He kind of is starting to hate the way people in this town treat magic.
The city.
Yes, the city.
As you probably evil eye the great mage tower in the middle of the city that you can
Little
see
bit.
from anywhere in Mansque.
It's it's getting a little obnoxious.
At 500 feet tall, it is readily visible anywhere.
You know what? I actually have. So we would be able to see this on our way back to the wagon, Bruno and I, right?
Basically, anywhere in the city, so long as your vision's not obstructed.
After Bruno is done hiding, I think Lantern is actually going to point at it and go, "Do you think they let people go up to the top?"
Would Bruno know that off the
Give me
top
a
of his
history
head?
check.
Okay, give me 1 second. That's right. No, that's the right page. Where's history? Ah, there it is. I doubt it.
From what from everything you understand in regards to wizard and tower in the same sentence, you doubt they're letting anybody will come inside.
I doubt they're letting just anyone inside, let alone up top.
Lantern makes a face that says, "What a waste of a tall building." When I am very wealthy from being a delver long enough to have all of the wealth, I'm going to build a very tall restaurant and let people come up to the top and eat snacks. And then these wizards are going to feel very silly about the massive potential that they're leaving here. People love being on tall things. And with an air of great dignity that she's clearly copying from someone else, possibly Vellos, she turns on her heel to continue walking towards the wagon.
Don't change, Lantern. This
But
is
then how will I learn how to do
his
things?
breath. Sorry. This was mumbled under his breath.
Oh, the she almost definitely didn't hear him because she's almost certainly humming sort of a walking song to underscore the how little it has bothered her that she's not allowed to climb this tall thing.
In other words, it has deeply offended her.
Deeply offended her.
Poor Lantern. So gradually, everybody eventually makes their way back to your meetup points.
Mhm.
Are there any kind of fighting arenas here, Vellos?
Not the kind you're looking for.
Darn.
Mostly places for. It's not even magic fighting, it's magic competitions.
Hmm.
It's-
Well, that's unfortunate.
The place we went was sort of like a fighting arena, but instead of fighting, you were playing poops.
Playing what?
Raps.
Yes,
Oh.
poops.
Got it.
I am not very good at it.
Lantern
Okay.
can testify. I kept my promise, as much as I didn't want to.
Well,
No,
I
he just
won't
bought
do
some
it again.
dice.
Well, that he needed to do.
Oh, yeah, and he did a great job at it. She looks like she is trying to be supportive, but has absolutely no idea what either of you two are talking
Oh,
about.
Lantern.
What?
This came with the letter from my dad.
Oh.
She'll
Okay.
hand you the letter.
When she sees the letter, you can sort of see the recognition in her eyes as she realizes what this letter is regarding. And she reads it with great focus and concentration, nods solidly, murmurs, "I thought so," and sticks it in her pocket.
Was it from Victorine?
Oh, yes, I sent her a letter. You remember that because I gave it to you to send. So I guess
That's
you
right,
sent
you
her
did.
a letter from me.
Well, yeah. Cool. And she answered your questions?
Yes. She looks
Sometimes
fully
she's not
satisfied.
annoying.
with
Yeah, sometimes she's not annoying.
Lantern, I would say, gives you a polite but completely incomprehending nod. The sort of someone who has not quite encountered something she finds annoying yet, I guess, other than not being let on the top floor of buildings.
Oh, speaking of letters, apparently a knoll who wants to be a cook showed up in my parents' hometown.
Oh my goodness, that's
Oh.
fantastic for him.
That dude lived.
Yeah.
Good for him.
How's he doing?
Well, he's apparently been given some sourdough starter
Ooh.
from our town's local smith.
That's like really big in baking and stuff, right?
I think so.
I didn't know you forged sourdough starter. I just thought you made it in a jar. That's amazing. Your town's amazing.
Fiona, you would know
No.
that sourdough is one of those kind of scary things because it looks alive when unbaked.
Would Vellos be questioning why the hell a blacksmith had this?
Only because none of you realize what town it is.
Okay.
Oh yeah, no, that's totally normal. He has to make his own bread.
Oh.
Why?
Why?
Why not?
I'm going to make my own bread when I get the ability to do that. Right now I can just make little biscuits, and they're not quite bread.
I'm sure they're good though.
They are. I think I'm going to make those actually. Those are great. That's what I'm making next time I make stuff.
Oh, and another thing. From my teacher at the monastery.
Uh-huh.
Apparently apparently a new awakened kobold showed up there.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Are they settling down in your town, or are they
Oh, no,
going
at the
off on
monastery.
adventures? Oh, at the monastery?
Yeah. I got this one from my teacher.
Okay, so are they settling down at the monastery? Are we getting a kobold monk?
Well, according to my teacher, they're gonna make sure he knows the basics of, the world before they teach him how to fight.
Probably
But
for the best.
I'm pretty sure he will be taught how to fight.
It's useful.
You get into a lot of fights if you don't know what's going on, because you accidentally make a lot of people upset or nervous, says Lantern with the voice of great experience.
Well, Lantern, if you have any tips that I can pass along to my teacher to help the kobold learn.
Oh, make sure that you really explain what stealing is and how not to do it. That was one of the most important things I learned that helped me to stop getting in fights.
Okay, I will pass that along.
People really don't like it if you steal stuff, but if you don't know what stealing is, you do it a lot.
That makes sense.
It does. It's very logical. Vellos,
Hmm?
Nolan has decided not to come after us to meet you, but he really would love to meet you.
Okay.
Fear.
Feel like I should be alarmed.
Oh, Nolan's a metalsmith and a sculptor. I suspect you two would get along great.
I'll
He's
take
just-
your word for it.
He's a little impulsive, especially when, he's an artist too, so, meeting somebody like you just sounds, I'm sure, fascinating. Anyway, he's a good guy when he's not pulling my hair, pulling my ears and stuff.
As we are all at the wagon, Lantern is probably passing out mead to people because, again, she's motivated to get through this barrel.
Oh, speaking of the wagon, do we want to spend anything on it?
If we can find a wagon shop, I think it would be good to look around.
You all kind of look across from where the wagons are all stored and kept, and there are several Wainwrights.
I had somehow never looked in that direction until you all just pointed at it to me, but I think we can probably find a wagon store.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All right, well, did we want to buy space or something else?
Well, what's our current wagon fund?
115 platinum pieces, 28 gold pieces, and 5 silver pieces.
So about 1,100 plus.
Yeah,
Okay.
1,100 and some change.
So we know what we can get.
Yeah. I know we have 2 space cubes already. And I know we have the crossbow. Or the ballista.
Mm-hmm.
Or was it the ballista?
Uh,
It
It uses
was.
crossbow bolts.
Hang on. Specifically, it was.
I think it was the ballista. Oh
You
no,
said
it
it's
was
the
the precision railbow.
Yeah.
precision railbow. Okay.
Yeah.
I know we bought a ladder to the roof.
Yep.
Okay, that's an attachment. Did we have any fittings?
Thank you for reminding me to open my PDF.
oh.
Wow, that was almost 10 sessions ago already.
Yes, it was.
Crazy.
No, you guys didn't buy any fittings because you ended up spending money on space and the railbow.
Yeah.
Right.
Makes sense.
As you realize, wagon components are about the same cost as magical items.
Personally, I like the idea of if we're looking at grade 1 fittings, the rain wheels sound great as someone who drives it. Armored storage would be very practical.
Grade 1 fittings. The same price for attachments and fittings.
Yeah, I think the cost is the same. So each one would be 360 gold pieces.
Okay. And our wagon is third
We can,
level?
yeah, so we can have 2 fittings.
Yeah.
Or
We could also, well, look to see about buying to level up. I'm not sure how much that costs.
For the 4th level, that would be 425.
Okay.
And I think the next space upgrade would be 200 still, since we don't have 3 yet.
Yeah.
Right.
So we can buy space and something else.
I would be a big fan of buying space and something else as an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Because the more space we get, the more likely we will be able to fit a forge and also cooking in here. And crafting stations is nice to have.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
could spend all of the money and get 2 cubes of space, but we wouldn't be able to get anything else.
I wouldn't be averse to that either, but I definitely understand that it might be a little bit more fun and exciting to get more fittings. I'm just kind of a big fan of getting anything we can get.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay, so what fitting are we all feeling?
You do make a good point with the rain wheels.
Yeah, because I don't think we're planning on going through snow or sand in the near future, but mud, that's anywhere.
Yeah.
The the intruder chime also sounds like a good idea. Just as a precaution.
I think that makes sense eventually. I'm not sure we need it yet because we're not usually too far from our wagon at the moment.
But sometimes we are.
That is fair. Again, I'm not against it.
Yeah.
Also worth noting, everywhere you've parked your wagon so far in civilization has been patrolled.
That's true.
Right. I guess we don't need the intruder charm yet. Something to
Yeah.
Like,
keep
I
in
think
mind.
I think definitely we should keep it in mind for the future. But I don't know.
Since, oh no, never mind. Grade 2 attach fittings are 1,000 gold pieces. We can't do that.
Oh,
I mean, we can,
We-
but we'd only get one.
Yeah. Or we could get one fitting now and save the second slot for something else later.
I like that. We save it for later. We get extra space. We get one fitting. That's my inclination.
Yeah, so
Sounds
that's
good.
about 560. Which I think leaves us enough for an upgrade kit if we wanted to get that too.
I like
yeah,
that.
that sounds good. That sounds good. All good practical stuff.
Yep, 360 plus 200.
And
I believe the next upgrade for level 4 was 425.
the real question is how many. Or one of the big question is how many cubes should we get before saving up for like the furnace and stuff.
I think we should have at least like twice the size of the original wagon. Because it
That's gonna
takes,
be
yeah, it takes like 2 full squares to add it, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. Let me double check. Where the hell is it? Right, it's in furnishings. Renovations. There we go. Yeah, 5 by 5 by 10, so two full cubes,
Yeah,
I
2
think.
full cubes. So just kind of to make sure that we have enough room for our stuff, like so we can carry as much loot as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So probably like 3 or 4 more cubes before we get that.
I'd say 3 more after the one we're planning to get this time.
Okay.
Okay, that sounds
Yeah, 'cause-
reasonable.
Yep.
Yeah, one of those will be 800, but that won't be too bad. Because
Especially
9 to 20, they get exponentially more expensive.
Sure.
All right, shall we go start making some purchases?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
Okay, so it sounds like we are going to the Wainwrights to try to get the upgrade kit and the rain wheels, and then we are going to go to the magic shop to get space.
Basically be all in the same area, but yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
I think that's what we're doing.
oh, right, we, one thing we might want to consider if we have any leftover
We'll have a little.
is a water tank. Those are relatively cheap, but they're also really, really useful.
That is a good point. We might not always be able to travel along a river like we
That's-
did this
yeah.
time.
That's very smart. Do we have enough?
Yeah.
Let's see, where is it?
What are you looking at getting?
A water tank.
tank.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, there it is.
Where
Oh,
is it?
100? It's on near the bottom of 365.
Oh, there it is.
doesn't
I'm not
There's,
seeing
there's
water.
2 different water tanks.
it doesn't state
Oh,
size of them
yeah.
though.
It's at the top of 365, the bottom of 364.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
So what you're looking
Yeah.
at there is the additional price of 2 different distilleries
Yeah.
that you can have installed to the water tank.
Yeah.
Where's the
I
What's-
actually did since the price on the water tank itself is not included, I actually did the math on this. I just need to find out where I put the math.
Oh, the water tank's in a separate. Wait, where the hell is the water tank?
At the bottom of 364, the top of 365. Filtering distillery and sunstone.
No, those are the.
The way it gets filled.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, we'd probably need a hose or something.
I'm wondering where the hell the actual tank itself is. How much that is.
It doesn't list it anywhere on here.
Okay, so I guess the first question I'll have to ask you guys is how big of a water tank do you want? Has this will impact the price?
I think that would depend on how much each size costs.
Well, it's more a question of how much space each.
Well, the sun still goes on the roof, and it distills a quart of water a day. Just on its own.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or you get the distillery, which
Yeah, the filtering distillery.
Which, bear in
will
mind,
make it.
remember your typical person drinks a gallon of water a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and one dray driver requires 10, so
Yep.
the filtering distillery probably
It's
won't.
not bad. It does not help as much as it seems to.
Hmm.
It's great for if you're doing potions, but
Well, the sunstone, you mean, as opposed to the
Yeah.
filtering distillery. Yeah.
Which seems to it doesn't give it just says we need to change the filter every 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as long as we can find any source of water, it can filter it to drinkable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
So it's a lot more versatile than the sun still.
Well, it says we would need a boiler for convenient automatic filtering.
Well, we don't have that yet because the boiler, I believe, goes on the furnace, which we aren't getting yet.
yes.
Yeah.
Because of the size. So this wouldn't be automatic, but it is presumably a camp chore we would need to do.
Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
Still worth it to have, just as a.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that'd be another 100 gold pieces.
Yeah,
so you do have a couple of water barrels. You can just always divert, say, a distillery into those. With
Yes.
the hoses attached. Or you can actually get a fixed water tank to the interior of the wagon.
How much would that cost?
So this is the obnoxious part. How big of a tank do you want?
Again, it would depend on how much each size costs.
Yeah.
The reason I'm asking how big of a tank you want is because I've had to do my own math on this.
I don't know what sizes are available. Like, how much of a tank can we get for 50 gold? You know, like
50 gold.
just
How
as
much-
a completely random number pulled out of nowhere.
Sure. So what we're looking at here is because the tank it's essentially kind of just like a large barrel but fixed to the interior of your wagon. So at the baseline price of a regular barrel. So 40 gallons of liquid or 4 cubic feet solid. Which is, just so we're understanding, that's not a 4x4 size. It is, the barrel is 4 1x1x1 cubes. No space essentially taken up. That would run you at around... Did I make a mistake in my math here? Yeah, I think I made a mistake in my math here. Okay, here we go. So just the regular, say, 40-gallon tank would run you a 20 gold installation.
Okay. How much money are we at? And can we afford twice that tank size?
How much space does that one take up?
An 80-gallon tank would take up a... double the size, so it would take up, instead of, say... Instead of being a 1x1x2, it would instead be a 2x2x2.
Okay.
So it would take up 40 square feet.
No.
No.
It would take up 8 square feet instead of 4 for an 80-gallon tank.
I'm trying to visualize that in cubes.
I know.
8 cubic feet would fit into 1 cube. A little extra.
Let me do this. Bring up the camera. So assume this is the ground. So I need an actual cube-shaped D6. I need you to understand I've been using these the entire time. They're D6s, but they're not cube-shaped.
No.
Nope.
Here we go. Okay. So this is how much a regular barrel would take sitting on the ground. 4 cubic feet.
So that's the original
Yes.
water tank, is what you're saying. Okay.
That is a regular water barrel you can purchase from anywhere. If you want to get the 80-gallon tank, an 80-gallon tank installed and built, the size it would take up would be an additional...
All right, so it'd be taller, but not bigger.
It would either be taller or wider.
I think if it was taller, we could use that as like a really narrow loft and put stuff on top of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Possibly entered on top of it.
Not necessarily if you're running a distillery through it.
Well, not
That's
while
true.
it's running.
Well, I mean if you, with the hosing sticking through.
Oh, got it.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that would be not probably useful space for storage.
No.
But it'd fit well within 1 cube.
Well within 1 cube, yeah.
So
Do you guys wanna do that if we have the money for it?
I'm good
We
with
should,
it.
yeah. Yeah, that works for me.
Yep.
Yeah, that was how much for that? 40 gold?
Yes. And that basically gets
We are
anchored to the floor.
We are at 1,125 gold spent. I think that is everything.
Sounds like everything to me.
Because we have that's pretty much all of the platinum pieces, because we have 115 platinum, which I believe is 1,150.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're using up most of that.
Yeah, but we can get everything we want.
I think it's important to have what we need.
Yep.
Yeah, these are pretty useful upgrades.
It is
Yeah.
very useful to not get stuck in the mud.
Yes. And it's very useful to have lots of water that we can distill if necessary.
Right?
Yeah, extra.
Alright, so what do we have?
Extra.
All in all?
We bought rain tires. We bought the tank. We bought the distillery for the tank. And
An
we got
extra cube of space. So we're up to 3 cubes.
Okay.
3 cubes purchased, and we're getting the upgrade kit to level 4.
Okay, so upgrading to level 4, 3 cubes. And, okay, what attachments total do you have?
We have the rail crossbow and the rain wheels as a fitting. The only attachment we have is the rail bow.
Need those separate.
Yeah.
And then interior stuff.
I think we mostly have hammocks on the inside. Although that
Hammocks and a roof ladder.
I don't care about the hammocks. I mean, things like the roof ladder, the water barrel.
I think it's
The
just the roof
renovations.
ladder. I think it's just the roof ladder and the water barrel right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or the water tank.
Although Lantern will be acquiring new furniture as soon as she can get you guys to drink most of the rest of the mead. She will be drinking some of the rest of the mead, but she is very small.
And that is with the filtering distillery?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure what you have all on my end as well.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And as a reminder, the filters cost 2 gold a piece.
Yes.
Every 3 months.
Yep.
You know what? While we're here, can we go ahead and buy 2 backup filters? Because I'm pretty sure we can store the backup filters on top of the tank with the distillery.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, okay.
Same
Yeah,
way
that
you
makes
store
sense.
the new air filter in the furnace room.
Always good to have at least 1 or 2 backups.
All right,
Stuff like that.
1,129.
The filters are a long wooden tube with a mesh on the top and bottom, with charcoal of varying thickness down to a very fine sand at the bottom, with a very specific store this way up.
Lantern loves following instructions that are written down because it helps prove that she's literate. So she will enthusiastically store them the correct way down.
Yeah, I'm just going to take all the platinum pieces out and convert them to gold because we only have 49 gold pieces left.
I'll talk about efficient use of our money.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
no, that was very efficient.
Yes.
That should have us set for necessities for a while at least.
Well, we
Yeah.
know we aren't going to die of thirst while we're out on the road, and that's important.
It
Yep.
is.
Yes.
Now, this thing does take time, but it works at a pace significantly quicker than the sunstill, which is more of just like a fancy dehumidifier.
Yeah.
It's neat, but maybe that's something to get if we get really into alchemy.
Yep. Okay, so you got all that good stuff ready.
Yeah.
Right. Well, while the wagon is being worked on, what do we do next?
Well, I mean, we can always look for the next dungeon.
We'll have to find a scout.
You know, that's
Mm-hmm.
The one we talked to before.
well, he was pretty much associated with the dungeon brigade, I
Yeah,
think.
you remember
wasn't
he was more interested in recruiting you guys.
Yeah.
Sure. Don't think we're really interested in that.
Nah.
Rather be a freelancer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, we could split up and look for leads.
Do we want to split up and look for leads? Because then we have to get everybody back together.
We could also not split up and look for leads.
Yeah, well,
Do you think the tavern owners would know where the scouts hang out?
almost certainly.
That's worth checking out.
We can go
I mean,
ask
they'd
at the errant
probably-
fireball.
Yep.
I will say
They'd
you've
probably
been
point
at
us.
the Errant Fireball enough times to know that scouts don't hang out there.
Yeah.
But
he might know
tavern-
where they hang
Yeah.
out.
Are there any taverns close to where all the wagons seem to park?
No, you're more parked in what's essentially a covered parking area. If that makes sense.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just
Like
saying,
a
sort of
parking
looking
garage.
between there and I'm looking for basically the tavern equivalent of a truck stop.
No, I know what you're looking for, but what you basically got here is the stables, Wainwrights, and a notice for delvers to not, park wherever outside the city walls to reduce traffic and clutter.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Lantern just went out there to cook. She wasn't loitering.
Which you did get some odd looks from the guards, but technically you weren't doing anything wrong.
And I was very polite the whole time. They never know what to do with that. That's how you get them.
Alright, well.
Well, I guess our best lead right now is to ask the tavern owner of the Errant Fireball if he happens to know an area where the scouts hang out in Mansque.
Yeah.
It's either that or just.
At least the ones not attached to the dungeon brigade.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's either that or basically asking around blindly.
Let's not
Oh.
ask around blindly. You never know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Yeah, people keep giving me the weirdest looks in this
Come
town.
on, the last time we asked blindly worked out perfectly.
Well,
True.
But that time we
But
were in a very Delver-centric town.
You asked around blindly in this town last time.
It's just true.
well, but we were standing right there listening to them talking about how they needed delvers. We weren't just
No, I mean when we were
Going up-
asked when we asked where to find like the
Shops.
shops. Thank you. I
oh
was
well,
blanking on the names.
that's a little different. That's a little bit more general than
Right?
asking for a scout.
I suppose. Okay, so you guys are heading to the errant fireball and to ask around.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Intern is going to keep her ears open the whole way, just in case she happened. You know, we randomly stumbled into luck last time. Why couldn't it happen again? Verasta loves this shit.
Bruno shivers a little and goes, "He loves chaos."
Exactly.
And
He loves this
way, like he's clearly looking around himself as he says this.
Both of you make perception checks.
Yeah, okay. I'm better at that than I am at history. I did roll better too, just not by much.
I didn't.
Nope. Okay, as Lantern, you're not noticing anything as you're heading back to the errant fireball. Bruno, this wave of anxiety sits over you and you cannot shake it.
Well, that's not new. I already said he had that.
Oh no, this is a new wave. This is a redux.
Oh dear.
Hence why it's worth mentioning.
Oh no.
That's concerning.
Yep.
Lantern actually notices lots of things. It's just that none of those things are dungeon leads. She notices a beautiful flower growing through a sidewalk crack. She notices that somebody is selling buns. Unfortunately, she does not notice anyone who seems to be conveniently going, "If only a Delva fell into our laps."
Yeah, not
Given-
likely to happen
Given the
twice.
size of some of you, that would be rather a bad thing to have happen.
Yeah. Especially if it's the size of some other of us. Like, say, Vellos landing in Lantern's lap. Although Lantern would probably enjoy that.
Yeah.
It's fine. She's built tough. Tougher than you would think.
I think she would prefer it the other way, though.
Probably.
You think she's going to complain? Come on.
At least a little bit. Anyways, back on track. As you enter and look around for the owner, he's not immediately noticeable, but the rest of the staff is scurrying about.
What time of the day is it?
That's an excellent question. I lost track.
Uh-oh.
What time of day did I say it was when you guys had last session? When you guys were
I think it was mid-morning, but I'm not saying that with any level of confidence.
I haven't been keeping track of
right,
that.
because you had rested.
That sounds about right.
So
yeah.
No, it's not quite lunch, but it's getting close to the noontime thereabouts.
Oh, we did
With
take
all
a
your
rest?
wandering around.
somehow thought it was still the same day we went into the dungeon.
No. You rested in the dungeon and you long rested again after leaving the dungeon because you were all beaten and warm. Some of you more literally beaten.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then, damn, we did that shopping for the wagon pretty quickly if it's still not noon yet.
Yeah.
It's getting there, though.
Okay.
It's also a cloudy day, so that's not helping any.
No.
Mm,
Well, we can probably sit down for lunch. And
That's true. Get lunch at the tavern and
Keep our ears open in case any cool leads wander in.
Mhm.
we can also ask the waiters or servers or whatever they're called if they know anything as well.
Yep, can't hurt.
I mean, it could. I could make it hurt.
Please don't.
Fine, I'll save that for the dungeons. Maybe.
Lantern is fiddling with her cards.
Oh dear. Okay, so as you all take a seat, and one of the waitstaff does come up and ask what they can get you started with.
I think Fiona would order a sandwich.
Sandwich has been invented around this time period.
or a meat pie.
I'm pretty sure people have been shoving food into flatbread as long as there's been food to shove into flatbread.
The actual concept of a sandwich.
I don't know. You'd think that all the brethren came from the broken world. They wouldn't have brought sandwiches with them.
Maybe. They also lost a lot of their culture along with the ability to understand their own written language.
I
No,
feel like
yeah.
sandwiches are universal enough for them to have taken it over. Like,
Yeah.
there's at least one brethren
variations
run.
on sandwiches. I mean, you get things like
You're way shorter than
meat pies and tacos and things
Stuffed
like
pitas.
that.
They've been stuffing
Wraps.
pitas and grape leaves and since ancient Greece.
Yeah.
Flatbread
I
was
mean-
all over ancient Rome. As long as there has been flatbread and stuff to stuff in it, there have been sandwiches in the world. We just called those something else.
Yeah.
Like food.
Interesting. Looks like the earliest, though, known mention of actual naming of the sandwich would be 1770s.
The Earl of Sandwich, I believe.
That's where the namesake came from, but nobody knows if it's really named after him.
Mm.
Huh.
Oh no, what have you drawn?
I've drawn a cool card that lets me turn my legs and arms into tree limbs.
What? What?
Okay, that's a weird one, but this is Verasta.
Lantern mutters,
Well,
ooh, as she draws a card and puts it back in her pocket.
Well, if you don't want to do a
yes.
sandwich, you do a meat pie.
Are we? Yeah, this is the day after. Okay, so I already did my
Yeah.
audience. Okay.
Lantern's gonna have whatever the special is. Because it sounds special.
Sounds
Honestly,
good to Dori.
same.
Mhm.
Okay, so 3 orders
What
the
order?
special.
And a meat pie, which I guess is an ordinary.
Congratulations, you have a choice of chicken, fish, or pork.
Let's go chicken.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Okay. Bruno, Thorn.
I'll go with
Bruno
the special.
also asked for the same thing that Dori and Vellos did.
Oh, okay. And
I guess you
Thorn
didn't
got
hear my.
talked over. Thorn?
Oh no, not again.
What was Thorn getting?
I don't know. He got talked over every time he spoke up.
And now he's not responding.
Testing.
Okay.
There you are.
There he
Oh
is.
my! This microphone is doing me wonders, isn't it? I'll go with a special.
Okay. All special. So was that 5 specials and just the meat pie for Fiona?
I believe so.
Okay.
Sounds about right.
Yep, sounds good.
With writing that down, they say they'll be back soon with your orders. And move to leave.
Excuse me.
Yes. Is there
If you were
something else?
looking for just real quick, if you were looking for a scout, where would you look?
Ooh, scout. Well, there's a few places I'd probably check. There's the Dungeon Brigade headquarters on the outskirts of the city. There's something tells me by the looks you're giving me that's not quite what you're after.
Not really, but we'll keep it in mind.
Yep.
They're already trying to recruit us.
And they're trying to recruit any Delver that comes through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think they're
I'm
bad?
sure.
You think they're bad here? Wait till you get to Patry or Louvain.
That makes sense, actually. Bigger cities want everything under control.
Other than that, I would probably consider either. Sometimes the guard has something, though not always necessarily dungeon-related work.
Yeah.
I'd probably also try looking around the city center.
City center? Okay.
Yeah, around near the Mage Tower.
Huh.
There's a few. From what I've heard from Delvers that come through here, there's a few scouts in the area that actually have kind of more officially set up shop in that area, rather than just hanging out in taverns. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure
Okay.
some of the taverns around here probably do actually have a couple of scouts hanging out, but
Right.
Well, that's where we found scouts in the last town. So
Yeah.
Yep.
But then the last town was more catered to Delvers specifically, so
yes, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I've
Yep.
heard that. Bit of a. I've heard a lot of good things out of Delvers, but some of the people who moved from Ghost Sierra, no offense to you guys at all, but I heard it gets a little too rowdy at times.
I can believe that.
Yeah.
makes sense.
I mean, I do like to party.
I don't think that's the
doesn't?
kind of rowdy they're talking about there, Lantern.
Well,
Probably a
Followers of
little of that and a
Harasta.
little of the a little of that and a little of the things like what we were working on yesterday. if that's where the dungeon started.
But if there's anything else, I'll go ahead and send your orders back.
Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks a bunch.
Yep.
Fiona will hand him a silver piece as thanks for the tip.
He'll happily pocket that. It's raining outside again. Okay, so now you know there's a few places probably near the place you're currently in, on top of some other locations where you can go pick up from scouts. And after a little while, your food is brought to the table. Today's
Woohoo!
special seeming to be a very thick soup with very earthy scents coming off of it.
Lantern is immediately trying to identify smells.
Lantern, you're going to assume they may have cooked with some kind of beer or mead.
Lantern, you do hear, as she eats, muttering, never thought to use it that way. Huh.
There's also no taste of alcohol in there.
She's basically always looking to steal recipes if she can figure out how to make them. So she's kind of thinking if she can figure out how to make this one.
Which I say good luck. There seems to be a garden variety selection of vegetables in there. In what is a very thick broth, along with a few chunks of you're not sure what kind of meat this is, simply because it's lost in everything else.
Well, if it's a special, it's probably made from whatever they had a lot of. So
Yeah.
Probably.
even so, she clearly enjoys it thoroughly. But I don't know if any of you have seen her eat something she did not appear to enjoy thoroughly.
No, I wouldn't think so.
Fiona happily enjoys her meat pie.
Yep. Dori is enjoying this stew.
Yeah. Vellos seems to be enjoying this stew. Definitely different from what he's used to. I think.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, Vellos, you're used to a very seaweed and fish heavy diet.
Very true.
Vegetables with a crunch perish the thought.
What is this madness?
And then the general cost is nothing too insane for food at this level.
This seems like a very normal sort of meal.
You're looking at kind of the 6 silver for the entire table sort of deal. Considering a modest kind of pricing.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
Oh, hang on, I was looking at the wrong table. I was looking at lodging. meals. Probably closer to 5 copper then.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
I think Lantern is going to
Per
pay a
person.
silver and call the rest of it a tip. Because the guy helped us with tips. And also she does not have smaller than a silver, so...
5 copper per person, so 3 copper for the table. Or 3 silver for
3
the table.
silver.
Yes.
Fiona will go ahead and put down another silver piece.
Yeah, Vellos
Yeah,
will put down
Dori
a
will
silver.
too.
So will Bruno.
That's 5 silver.
If you give a tip, the people are more likely to give you more information next time you ask for information.
It's a very
And
generous table.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Delvers are either very generous or very rude, and I think it's better to try to be the first kind.
You'd rather have them fighting over who gets your table rather than fighting over who gets your table.
We gotta name
Exactly.
it.
Right?
Exactly.
Yep. We want them wanting our table, not going, get
No,
me
you
the
have
hell
to
away
take
from them!
I took the last group of
It's
assholes.
your turn. It's your turn.
Yeah, no, we want them going, no, my turn! I get them this time!
Table is my section.
Especially since we seem to be on good terms with the tavern owner, too, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's important to maintain your relationships if you want to go anywhere in this fucking town.
Right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I get the feeling you guys don't like Mansque.
I
know,
wonder what
Lantern
gave you
does
that
actually like it.
impression.
Lantern does like it because she likes spectacle and sparkly and shiny stuff happening. And I'm betting the all of the mages in the town appreciate having someone who is clearly so impressed by their cool magic. So she's getting along all right here, but
And you've only seen cantrip spam the entire time you've been here.
it's still very impressive if you are Lantern. Because impressive in this case means pretty.
Oh, it is. Everybody's happy to showboat their magic to each other.
Like, I will tell you guys that while walking through the streets a couple of times, someone has to maybe take a moment to wait for Lantern to finish applauding a rando.
Lantern is becoming very well liked for a completely different set of reasons.
Sincerity and enthusiasm.
Just a little bundle of energy that people can't help but like.
So I guess we're going to the city center then. With one person guiding Lantern every now and then.
Yeah.
Yep.
It sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, periodically the group gets an update like, there was a man who had a bird on his head! Before she, fully joins you.
Oh.
It was a pigeon.
Yes.
Of course it was.
But it was sitting on his head very nicely and politely, you see, and that's very impressive, because birds are not always friends.
No, they are not. Seagulls are assholes.
What's a seagull?
Rats with wings.
And then you slowly realize what you said staring at Fiona.
The shit.
That doesn't tell me anything.
I met a
I am
seagull
now
once.
imagining myself with wings, and that doesn't help.
I met a seagull once, but it was nowhere near the sea, so I think it was very lost.
Vellos just face palms at himself and laughs. Sorry, that was force of habit. They're small seabirds that steal everything that looks like food. You leave a half-eaten meal by your side, they will try to dive bomb you to take it.
They are
But
very brave,
they are pests.
but very brave pests. Because if they see you and they know how big they are and they see how big you are and they still try to steal your lunch, that takes a lot of courage.
Sure. That's
Uh-huh. All right. Let's find a scout, shall we?
So as you make your way
Let's find
down
a
to
scout.
kind of the, you begin to understand why you're kind of pointed towards the city center, as there's kind of a, it's busy. You get out of the market area, it starts to slow down. Then it starts to get busy again as you enter the city center. And you realize it becomes a little more professional here. In how magic is, not just how people are behaving, but how magic is being used. There's still a flair to impress, but which seems to just be the nature of the city. But it gets more refined in behavior and when it's used. If that makes sense. Because I don't know if that made sense to myself, to be honest.
It seems like they're less show-offy. There's still quite a bit of it, but it's a little bit more professional and smooth instead of just, look at me, I can do magic!
Yeah, basically.
If that was what you were trying to convey, then you conveyed it to me at least.
Yes.
Excellent.
On top of that, I feel like you've entered more of a there are offices here kind of thing.
Yeah.
But also, as you look around, you notice you're noticing more people like yourselves. Not necessarily among the guards, but groups of people wearing armor, carrying their weapons. Because I assume none of you guys left that stuff on your wagon.
No.
Oh no, we are
No.
fully strapped at all times, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
After all, you never know when other dungeons can open up in town.
Yeah.
Basically. As you're walking, you see a few places advertising leads. You notice that one building has, on the sign hanging out from in front of the door, it has not just an advertisement for leads, but it also has a symbol, a familiar dragon claw symbol on the door, or on the signage.
Huh.
The
They like-
Dragon Claw is the Dungeon Brigade, right?
No.
That's the one that Jackal is a part of.
No, it was the
Oh.
wolf.
The wolf.
Got it. Right.
The
Okay.
wolf you
Jackal's
guys
with
met in
the...
Gosier.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
The crest.
Yes. The dragon crest.
Okay.
I still wish I could place that emblem. Oh well.
What's the tackiest signage we can see about the leads?
The tackiest?
That's the one that that Lantern would gravitate towards, yeah.
I don't think you're seeing a tackiest signage here. If you're
Oh,
looking
no,
at
no, honest Bob's straight to factory to dealer lead incentives.
No. No, there's the job of being a scout has too much self-respect or something like that.
So no honest Bobs or crazy Larrys. Gotcha.
Yeah, no.
Ah, thank God.
You're more likely to see that in some Wainwright or wagon dealer,
Yeah.
though not selling to delvers.
Well, if we go with the crest, we'd be going with a scout part of an organization that we're familiar with, or at least worked with before.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Want to try it?
That.
Or do you want to keep looking until we see something really interesting?
Yeah, I believe the only thing we did was sell a spider chicken to the wolf.
I believe
And
that
then
was
ask
our
him a bunch of
contact with them.
questions.
Yeah.
And then the one-eyed rat was the one who gave us this job with the jackal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, none of these have funny names or big inflatable dragons out in front of them. And
Well,
that's
that
the
one
only
has
way.
a dragon
Flapping in
claw.
in the breeze.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the only way I know how to pick a quality establishment. So I'm happy to go with whatever you guys want here.
Well, I'm happy to go with the crest, or the dragon's crest.
Yeah. That sounds.
Let's go
Unless
for
you
it.
want to take a chance on somebody new.
Eh.
I'm good
Well,
with
no one seemed...
the people we know.
Yeah.
All right. Then, to the crest!
To the crest.
Off to the crest we go.
Okay.
Is there a yellow brick road?
No, it's not yellow. It's very much so cobble.
Follow the
Sorry.
Kobold road.
Or I guess flagstone might be more accurate.
I don't get why it's called that. This doesn't look like flags at all.
Yeah, I'm not sure why it's called that either, actually.
Sorry
I
for
think the
delay on
stones were
everything here.
actually called legs, or actually called flags, but not like the waving in the breeze flags.
I think they should have to call it something else if it's something else. That's what I think. And with that, Lantern is going to push open the door.
As you go to push open the door opens up.
And remember that group you came that kind of rode up with you to Mansque?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Where, if I remember correctly, I only described the bison.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Because he was on a watch with me, and we
Yes.
happened to hear a sound that unnerved us both.
Well, not only that, but he happened to wake you up because Bruno had passed out completely.
Yes,
Right.
that too.
I was about to confirm that.
Yes, they come walking out at around him, a human, and 2 wolves come walking out at the same time. They seem a little surprised to bump into you.
Lantern makes a noise, kind of like.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
Oh, hi.
Hey, how you guys doing? Heard you took care of a bit of an issue that happened in town.
Oh yeah, dungeon
Yeah.
came out of nowhere.
Glass decided to
Come
get
to
up
life.
and bounce away.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was trying to enjoy. We were doing a little bit of window shopping ourselves when things got a little crazy.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Window shopping would have been very unpleasant.
Just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was.
We figured it out though.
Yeah.
Certainly an adventure.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet. He says, kind of getting out of the way of the door, along with his own crew.
Yeah. That particular dungeon, it kind of just collapsed in on itself after we finished it, so.
Well, that's convenient.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys,
Yeah, apparently they were going to have to rezone or regrade something if it didn't go away. So that sounds difficult and inconvenient.
that sounds like a whole bunch of tax noise I'm glad we don't have to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
You guys are already looking for another job?
You know, keep busy.
Yeah, no, I guess that makes sense.
You know, we're not ones to sit around much.
I get that. We got a job taking us more in a northern direction, so
Ah.
Mm.
we'll probably be
Oh.
swinging back into Mansque later. But if you guys don't get a job heading in the same direction, we'd be happy to travel with.
That'd
well,
be cool.
we'll see.
Yeah, really good.
Either way, best of luck.
Of
Yep.
course.
Good fortune. North.
And as they kind of bid their goodbyes from that short conversation, and you guys go ahead and walk inside to a rather place.
Or rather, a place.
It escaped from you for a second there. For what appears to be an office room that you walk into, it is a fairly cozy room. There's an earth sign sitting behind an office table, kind of just talking to an ethereal bird sitting on his desk. Kind of like, who's a good familiar? Yes, you are.
Somebody's pampering their familiar.
Lantern immediately likes this guy.
Yeah.
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 Hard not to like a dude who loves his bird.
Yep. Brr.
And the moment he notices you guys came in, he immediately straightens up in his seat. Hands on desk, kind of looking, he's like, hello, yes.
It's
Hello,
okay, we
Mr.
like
Dungeon
people who
Scout.
like your birds.
Might be making that for a story.
Yes,
Hello, Mr. Scout. We are looking for dungeons to go into because it's our job.
Yes, I kind of figured.
She beams at him.
The urge to pat Lantern on the head is palpable.
Bruno's hand twitches.
Why do I think that's more for a strangle than a pat?
No, it's for a Pat.
Oh,
In this
so-
particular case, he's feeling that she is being absolutely adorable.
She is on her best behavior. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Well, this is fond of the little kobold.
Yeah, Mansque.
The little Kobold would be delighted to hear that.
Very much so, yes.
Yes.
She is sort of excitedly glancing around the shop.
So as he's kind of pulling through some jotted down notes. Okay, I've got a few possible leads. Was there anything... any particular direction you were wanting to head? Stay out of the cold, head up into the cold.
Well, we were thinking of maybe traveling with the group that just left, so probably to the north.
Okay, I got a couple more
Safety
things.
in the road with numbers and all that.
Oh yeah, especially with when you're in proximity of a dungeon.
Yeah.
I have a few possible leads. Suppose an important question is: are you looking for something with more a sense of immediate danger, more puzzles and traps?
Fiona would grin and go, I'm always a fan of danger, but I don't know if everyone else in my group is.
I like stuff, and stuff usually comes with danger, so I'm okay with danger.
And I'm interested in interesting stuff, interesting things, whether it be cool monsters or items or what
You're
have
looking
you.
for experiences.
Yes, exactly.
Oh,
That
always
usually
up for a
comes with
good brawl.
danger.
Eh.
Okay, so you're definitely looking for more of a fight.
Yes.
From what my bird has found, I may have something in that nature. Let's see here. Just real quick for in the event anything horrible goes and happens, what's your true name? What's your
The dungeon rollers.
the dungeon? He stops for a moment, thinks, taps the desk a few times. Meet Thran Gossier.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys, yes. Actually, I have something from our boss for you. He says, opening up, reaching into another drawer, opening it up. You hear a
Ooh,
small jingle
specific.
of coins as he
Ooh.
picks up a bag and sets it down, and closing the
Ooh.
drawer. Yes, turns out that creature you sent had a few alchemical uses with its humors.
Ooh,
And
cool.
I bet it was
Also-
whatever smelled like a rotten egg farted. That's gotta be useful for potions.
Gross.
Oh,
And
Delightful.
glossing over that.
Probably for the best.
And also, I hope you guys didn't try to eat too much of it. He wanted to give a little bit of a warning that's found that the meat, unless properly purified, has a pretty nasty irritant in it.
No, I
He
couldn't
ate
get
any of
over
it.
how bad it tasted, so I had maybe a bite and a half.
Oh, that's right. You did try it a whole bunch of different ways.
Not very much of it, though, because I couldn't make it taste not like burned beetles.
That was probably the toxin.
Huh,
Probably.
I wouldn't have thought of that. I thought because maybe it was close to a beetle and I burned it. But it sounds like maybe I never had a chance. No matter how hard you try to cook a stick, it's just going to still be a stick. And no matter how hard you try to cook a spider chicken, it won't taste as good as either a spider or a chicken.
And in that regard, that name has been completely rejected. It doesn't look good in journals.
I think it would look great in journals.
Really?
I agree. It would be awful in journals.
Is there an official name for it then?
At the moment, from what I've heard, scholars are in debate.
They
Well,
can't.
but it's still a
they haven't
spider
been
chicken
able
to
to-
me.
Yeah, they haven't been able to come up with anything more awesome than spider chicken. So
Well, I've
you
heard
know.
Mantis Hound thrown around a few times.
I like that one. Mantis Hound is pretty good.
I don't think it encompasses how chickeny it is, though. I guess it could be a mantis instead of a spider. That does make sense. But it doesn't look anything like a dog.
It looks nothing like a chicken, so lose-lose.
To be fair, I haven't seen anything
Like-
outside of a sketch, but
It looks a lot like a chicken from the wrong angle.
here you
Not
go.
a good
It says
chicken.
sliding over a sheet of paper.
What's on the sheet of paper?
As you look over the sheet of paper, it states that at nightfall, near the foot of the mountains, north of Mansque, a stairwell opens up, leading about 30 flights up, and then vanishes into nowhere. Or
Wow,
30 steps up.
that's
Wow.
interesting.
The stairway is described as being highly ornate, very Art Nouveau.
Hmm.
Ivory banister, ebony steps.
Very interesting. And they
Huh.
think this is a dungeon entrance?
Well, it's probably a dungeon entrance. Stairwells don't just manifest at sundown then vanish during the day
Fair enough.
and lead
first-
to nowhere.
Fair enough. This is just the first time I've heard of dungeon entrances appearing and disappearing under certain conditions.
It's more common than you think. Like just last year, there was a dungeon whose doorway was found on complete accident because it only opened during a full moon,
Huh.
Ah,
Well, fair enough.
or when
I
somebody
have
was
only.
exiting it. Thankfully,
oh well, that's good.
the crew was prepared
Yes.
to be in there for an entire lunar cycle.
Oof.
Hmm.
Well, fair
Something
enough.
to keep in
I
mind.
have only. We have only
Yeah.
seen like 3
Stable
dungeons now.
entrances that don't
Yeah.
fluctuate like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that too.
Well, that is very exciting then, because we get to see a new type.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
a
love
more
climbing
new-
stairs, so I would be very interested in this.
And it's artistic, which I like.
Certainly piqued my interest.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm down. I'm down for anything that might lead to a battle.
Don't worry, every dungeon has at least something of a fight in it.
Yeah. That's why they're perfect. Perfect to get stronger in.
Okay, I'll go ahead and write this one off as accepted by the dungeon rollers. And also, if you happen to find any more of those creatures,
Bring them by.
You don't have to bring by the entire body, but if you can drain the fluids and collect the
Okay.
organs,
Ah,
we'll be happy
Organs
to
and
take those
fluids.
as payment.
I basically figured out how to get those organs out, so I can help with that.
That's going to
They
be...
don't taste good if you cook them either.
That's
Dori,
going to
you
be...
already-
I was going to say, I remember.
Dori, you
Oh,
reminded
what
of
the
getting
shit?
the arterial spray across the face.
Yeah.
Oh no. Well, that's going to be tricky to preserve. Might have a use for that cooling stone sooner than we thought.
Mm, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Should get jars.
There's also a question if you have any jars to store the stuff in.
We
should
have
get
vials.
jars. We have
Stop
barrels.
this.
We don't really have jars on hand.
We should get some before we take off.
Yeah.
I could use jars
Not
for
bad
other
idea.
things too.
Yeah.
This is true.
And as you guys... Are we leaving now, the place? Accepted?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah, and
thank
we
him for his.
So while you guys accept that and leave, how about we go take our break?
did he pay us for the chicken or
Oh, right, yes, the fucking... Sorry. Yes, he did,
Yeah.
he did pay you. It was an extra 100 gold, and a potion vial was also in there that was labeled. As a potion of scale skin.
potion of what?
Scale skin.
Gale skin.
Yes.
I heard
the-
potion of skin. I
Oh,
was like, what?
no, scale.
Scale.
Functionally, for an hour, it will give +2 AC to the drinker and give their skin a very scaly plated, a very scaly and plated look like the creatures.
Wonder what would happen. Oh, that would be very difficult. Ooh.
Hmm.
I'm thinking of me and Vellos both casting Shield of Faith on Vellos and him taking that. I'm just imagining what his AC would be, especially when he still has his initial.
I don't think I
AC
have
boot.
Shield of Faith.
Plus, you can only stack one spell at a time on a person, or one spell of one kind on a person. You can't double up Shield of Faith.
Okay, and that's a. I think all clerics get that. I'll double check though.
It's whether or not he has it readied.
Oh yeah.
I might not have it in my spell list because I hadn't put it in.
Yes, you can consider the potion as a free sample of what can be done with their remains.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Ooh, very interesting.
Yeah.
He does note that from what he's heard, there can't be anything done about the taste.
Oh,
Hey,
Not
ominous.
Beetles.
beetles.
It's kind of a
They're
yellow
great
pink
at
fluid in
right.
there.
What does the potion look like?
It's a yellowish pink fluid that's got kind of an oily consistency.
Oh, lovely.
You know this is just going to be pleasant going down.
Oh, that's gonna be an experience.
Yeah, no, Shield of Faith is a basic cleric spell.
I will have to look that up and put that in my spell list later.
Let's go ahead and take that
All right,
yeah.
break.
break.
Yep.
Alright.
Okay.
I'll be back.
I will see you on 10:15.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay, and we're back from the break. At least some of us
Yay.
physically. I can't say the same for Bruno there.
Well, I'm mostly awake.
Bruno, just inject some caffeine straight to the veins. You'll be fine.
Go eat a chocolate pudding cup. That'll help.
We don't have any.
A glass of cold
Oh
water.
no.
You're doomed.
What do you
That's
think
what
I'm
we-
drinking?
That's what we call an
caffeine
it's
right
you.
into the veins.
May I recommend like over 2 pounds of pistachios?
Not big on nuts and dice.
Yes.
Dori will tell you that is not a good idea.
Coffee
Actually,
IV.
you know, coffee would likely calm you down.
He's
help you
not saying
focus.
coffee. He's saying pure caffeine.
Well, yeah, but that's the part of the coffee that would likely to be to calm you down or help you focus.
I have never been calm when I was caffeinated.
Me neither, but I've gotten a hell of a lot of work done.
When have you ever been caffeinated?
There's caffeine in chocolate. Not a lot, but I have definitely had too much chocolate in one sitting before.
I'm at the point where
That's
not the
more of a
caffeine.
sugar rush.
It's not the caffeine, that's the sugar.
I'm
Yeah,
at the point where I just drink caffeine to keep the withdrawals at bay.
Yeah.
Yep.
I got ADD. I use Rockstar Recovery for medicinal purposes.
That's fair.
He does too. That's why caffeine would actually calm him down.
Caffeine's not really a big part of the energy drinks. It's more the 2,000 milligram dose of vitamin B12.
Niacin and taurine help too.
Yeah. But anyways, back on topic.
Yep.
As
Yes.
you're leaving the bear's office.
All right, so we wanted to go get some jars real quick, just on the off chance we run into another mantis chicken.
I would also like to make a personal purchase.
Sure.
Okay.
It's for part of my project that I'm going to do once I'm out of mead.
All
Ah,
right.
Pillow.
So what are we looking for?
A pillow.
Probably.
Okay. Do you think they would?
turning the barrel into a bed.
Yes.
Huh. Creative.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of how it's going to knock her out with fumes.
I don't think you need to worry about it.
Oh dear. Well, pillows can be found at a general supply readily.
Empty jars as well, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Especially now that they're not trying to run away.
Right?
Yeah.
Lantern, as soon as she finds an establishment that would sell pillows, is going to personally inspect all of them.
Of course she will.
And while Lantern is doing
About
Is
what
doing
you
that.
think.
Lantern is going to pick one up that is definitely intended for someone with a big giant head, such as a bison or an elk, so that it is big enough for her entire body.
Excuse me.
Okay.
how many empty jars do we want to get? After she gets her giant pillow.
A dozen? Two?
I think 24 is a great number. Because more
Yeah,
than
yeah.
that, it's like, wow, that's a lot of jars. But any less than that, I'm not sure we'd have enough.
So what are we looking at here? Ceramic
Jars for
jars?
things others other than
Or more like specimen vials?
Well, Lantern wouldn't mind having jars around just as general kitchen equipment because, you know, maybe she makes some jam at some point. But excuse me,
What?
specimen vials do have corks, though.
this is true.
They're also going to be significantly more expensive than standard ceramic bottles. Or not bottles, but jars.
How do the ceramic jars feel?
How do they feel?
Feel.
Yes. Okay, they feel like they'd be good for just cookware storage. You could probably safely boil them.
Oh no, I meant SEAL. Seal.
Yes.
Like, how do they
Can you
seal?
seal them?
Seal. Okay, seal.
Yes.
Those would require. They don't seal on their own. They've got that They got that kind of ring lid where you'd put a cheesecloth over it, then seal it, then coat that with wax to create.
Then we should also buy some wax.
So those do not create airtight seals on their own at all. They're great for cooking.
No.
They're great for preserves, but
We should get some cheesecloth and wax also.
Okay.
Yeah. So how much of each do we want to get? How much are the specimen jars a piece?
the actual proper specimen jars
Yeah.
are gonna run 2 gold a piece at a specialty shop. Whereas the ceramic cookware stuff is gonna run 2 copper a piece. One of the big differences is you can drop the specimen jars and they don't break. From, like if, say, Vellos was holding one and dropped it from, like, his abdomen and let go and fall.
Yeah. So maybe 6 specimen jars? Or do we want to get a full 12 of them?
I think of the specimen jars, we should get 6.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need to overdo that.
No.
And those have their own special kind of rubber clasp and seal.
Yeah, and they come with it, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
A hinged lid that you've seen the kind. You push the hinge down,
Yeah.
then you grab the clasp and pull it shut, and it squeezes into a rubber seal.
Mm-hmm.
Which, yes, rubber did exist at this time period. It was extracted from a tree called the rubber tree.
Yeah, mostly in the tropics, I believe.
And that's part of why it's so damn expensive. This is an import from the rubber itself is kind of an import from the Batyan area. To give context, location.
All right, so 6. That'd be 12 gold pieces for the 6 jars.
If it would work. It's not working. There we go. So to give some context, you guys are over in Mansque up here. And the Batyan is way over here.
That's not insignificant distance.
Yep.
That's a good amount of travel.
But since, rubber is kind of an industrially produced, it's not a massive import difference.
It still travels a good way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Probably be cheaper closer to where it's made, but not necessarily cheap.
Exactly. Exactly. You also have a bunch of regular vials just without corks, and the corks for each of those will be like a copper.
It'll be useful.
Yeah.
So how many ceramic jars do we want?
I'm still good with 2 dozen.
That's a lot.
I would be willing to go for 1 dozen.
Well, we could do 1 dozen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, 2 copper pieces apiece, so that would be 24 copper, or 2 silver, 1 copper.
And also
Right.
a big
2
roll of
silver, 4
cheesecloth
copper.
and a lump of wax.
Where are we gonna store these? We don't have shelving or anything.
For one thing, Lantern does have an idea about potential shelving we could start working on, but it will need more barrels. In the meantime, Lantern's planning on putting it in the same crates she puts the food supplies in.
Ow. Okay, fair enough there.
Oh boy.
We probably ought to start thinking the next time we go getting things for the wagon, we should think about shelves or something.
I mean, you guys are here. There's probably a woodworker somewhere around here. Or at the very least, a furniture shop. More than likely just the furniture shop.
How much did I spend on Big Pillow?
You spent 5 copper.
Hell yeah. Oh, she has a very elaborate scheme with this pillow and this barrel that does go beyond put pillow in barrel.
Yeah.
But that is a major component of it, and she will definitely be continuing to ply you guys with drinks until she runs out of drinks to ply you with.
Oh.
You also may notice a lot more meals featuring mead. Like in sauces or compotes.
So, so cheesecloth or just cloth in general will run at 5 silver for a square yard.
Lantern is going to get herself 2 square yards of that, just to be safe.
And the wax here, which is being sold as beeswax, is going to run a gold for a pound.
Lantern will also pay for a pound of beeswax from her own money.
Okay. Is there anything else people will be after?
Hmm.
No, I re-upped on all the stuff I was looking for, it looks like.
Debating giving Vellos a bit of an armor upgrade, since it's still gonna be a while before we can get the forge running.
Yeah.
Okay, what were you looking at?
Splint armor.
Splint. Armor of splinters. The kind of armor you wouldn't want to get stuck in your finger.
No, thank you.
Pretty sure.
Imagine the size of that splinter.
Oh
God.
God.
That's too far. I'd say something else, but in regards to splinters, but I feel like it would not be received well. All right. Splint mail. Okay, what are you currently wearing?
Chainmail.
Okay. So splint mail would run 200 gold. You need a minimum of 15 strength to wear it.
Which is why I bumped up my strength to exactly 15 with this level up.
Makes sense.
I was thinking ahead for when I eventually can wear plate mail.
Yeah.
I forgot to think about that. What's the requirement for plate mail again?
15.
Same thing, 15.
Oh, that's why I didn't think about it. I already had 16.
Oh.
Gotta love that our backline cleric has more strength than the frontline cleric.
Yeah.
How the hell did that happen?
The tiny
I
fox
should've-
has a higher strength score than the dragon.
Yeah.
What's your strength score?
Mine?
No, Vellos.
15 exactly right now.
You have precisely 2 more points in strength than the Kobold.
And the tiny, formerly malnourished fox has more.
Of
The
course,
Kobold is stronger than Fiona.
Of course, shenanigans aside, your size will still kind of play into how your strength behaves.
Oh, yeah.
If Fiona ever mentions this to Lantern, Lantern will excitedly tell her that she can get big and strong by digging.
I mean, that's not incorrect.
And eat lots of fish also.
Vellos can second that. Hmm. But, yeah, I have 350 now, so yeah, let's Vellos is gonna look for Smithy to get a set of splint armor.
Okay. So you go to the smith shop. In a bit of looking around, you eventually find yourself at a blacksmith who specializes in arms and armor called the Resonant Anvil.
Ooh. Nice.
Working just outside on the forge is a muscular wolf who pauses his work on noticing your approach. Which unfortunately for you means a pause of the hammer onto a hot piece of metal before he mouths just a moment and gets back to shaping the blade he was working on before the metal gets too cold.
Yeah, that Vellos definitely understands that. He would nod and move to basically where he's out of the way to wait.
He kind of gestures with his head towards the door that leads into a more shop-like entrance.
Right. Okay, he'd head in then.
And after a few moments of waiting outside, listening to the sounds of work, he does come on inside. through a back door.
Vellos has an almost nostalgic look on his face. It's been a while since he's been in a forge and heard the sounds of that metal being shaped.
Or the feeling, the heat, and the smell of the burning fuel.
Yeah, he misses it.
Alright, big man, what can I do you for? He says,
Hello.
looking kind of up at you.
I'm looking to get something a little sturdier than what I'm wearing. You wouldn't happen to have any splint mail in stock, would you?
I do have a set of splint mail, but he says, looking at you up and down. How much of a rush are you in?
Me and my crew are probably going to be heading out either sometime today or tomorrow.
Okay. Well, if they can wait, I can have it ready for you in a couple hours. I just need to take some measurements and resize it.
Alright.
And as you
Uh.
and as he steps out with the measure with a notched rope, take measurements. Do you look around the shop?
Might as well take a glance around.
So, true to this town's name, as you look around, his selection seems to. While he is selling a selection of ready-made arms and armor, he also seems to carry a small selection of enchanted gear.
Interesting. He does not have the funding for anything like that at the moment, but definitely something to keep in mind.
And after he takes your measurements, he said, before he starts working on resizing the armor, he does ask for an upfront payment of 50 gold.
Alright, no problem.
Okay. He says, come back in a few hours and I'll have this scaled. I'll have the armor scaled more up for your size.
Thank you, my good man.
Anything exposed, after all.
Yes, definitely don't want that in my line of work. Thank you very much.
Of course. Always a pleasure.
Great. I will be back then. And Vellos is off to give the team an update.
So we just gotta kill a couple hours then?
Pretty much. Gonna take the smith a few hours to resize what he's got. Makes sense.
It's cool.
People like me and Thorn aren't the most common sizes, I think.
Not really.
As you stand there
Although
thinking about it.
I think with plate mail it would be more likely just because, you big guys tend to do the heavier fighting, which means the heavier armor.
I honestly can't understand how you all move wearing that stuff.
I barely understand it myself.
It looks so constricting.
Thorn, what are you wearing again?
I am wearing scale mail.
I'm pretty sure Vellos made with recycled short swords or something.
Function. So to answer your own question and how you move around in that, as you're looking at your own gear, you notice the joints are made of a more flexible fabric or padded leather in the areas where it's supposed to move. Don't get me
Just kind of
wrong.
looking at himself.
Don't get me wrong. The rest of the armor weighs a good chunk of weight. A good. Yeah, all in all, your scale mail weighs a good 45 pounds of metal, leather, and fastenings on your body. Arms, torso, abdomen, legs.
I don't think I could do anything with that much metal on me. I don't think I could walk, probably.
I mean, this is lightweight for Thorn. He is one strong boy.
Well, Lantern finds that very impressive. I don't think druids are allowed to wear metal armor anyway, so she would not be.
They are not.
But you are allowed metal weapons, and for some reason.
Well,
This is one restriction that got lifted that I feel weird about.
well, to give you essentially, you gotta practice and train moving and stuff like this, and the joints are much less armored because they need to be flexible.
Mm-hmm.
I guess any metal that would be bendy enough for you to be able to fold it would probably not be strong enough to do much against an arrow.
No.
Probably not. No.
The joints will always be the weakness in any kind of armor. I do finally have that forge up and running. I am making myself plate mail.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Lantern looks wistful, like she too is wishing for this beautiful future, but I will be honest, it's not because of you making yourself armor.
Lantern daydream about an oven, is she?
She's not actually daydreaming about an oven, she's daydreaming about something else she's going to be asking Vellos to make for her.
Of course.
Interesting.
Okay, so we're not doing anything aside from passing time. After a couple hours, your stuff will
right.
be ready.
I kept forgetting to ask this. Lantern, did you want me to make you a replacement scimitar?
Oh, no thank you, I fixed it.
Wait, how did you...
Lantern learned mending. Like the cantrip.
Fair enough. Figured I'd ask.
She does look slightly disappointed that she did not think to ask you to fix it instead of her fixing it herself, because then she could have had you fix it. Everything it was about. I gotta be right back, one sec.
Okay.
Okay.
Such is the woes in the world.
Should we see how the upgrades to the wagon are doing?
Sounds good.
Yep.
Figure by the time we walk there, Vellos can walk back to get his armor.
Yeah.
The upgrades on the wagon. They would be getting almost done.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of the most complicated thing is the space cube. But that is to be expected.
Yeah, it takes some time to install.
Mm-hmm.
Some time to install and
Takes time to install space.
Make sure it doesn't break all the other space.
Exactly.
It has to make sure the space plays nice with the space.
You're trying to warp reality lightly, not break it.
Right?
Those things are still a bit of a mindfuck.
I think they're neat.
I think it's totally fine. It's only a slight alteration of time and space. Well, not time, but... Well, I guess technically time.
I mean, if you view space as time, then yes.
Well, there's also the whole situation of, say, you have roof access on the north and south part of your roof, and then you have ladders going onto that from your wagon, and your wagon is like 80 feet on the inside, but 20 feet on the roof. That is an alteration of time because it takes less time to get between locations.
It's fine, probably.
Sorry, Vellos, did I break you?
I think I'm good.
It's fine, probably.
Your
Like,
wagon
probably.
is a bag of holding with multiple entrances.
Hooray!
It's just a good thing we can't accidentally open up small black holes. Like with a regular bag of holding.
Because it's technically not a pocket dimension.
It's just a piece of this dimension moved to be somewhere else.
Yeah.
Lantern has her head completely wrapped around this. She finds it very comprehensible and is not sure what you guys are so upset about.
That's because Lantern lives in pocket dimensions.
Lantern has a great deal of intellectual flexibility that is maybe difficult to find in others.
I like my version of it better.
I believe we call this being an idiot savant.
I believe we call it being a kobold.
That too.
I really want to say there's a difference.
I mean, technically speaking.
Yes, some of them are not savants at all.
Fair.
Okay, so you get your armor Vellos, which is going to cost the extra 150.
Yep.
For a total of 200 gold.
Excellent.
Now he's looking sharp as hell.
With your mail of splints.
It's very splinty.
Super shiny, as is appropriate.
Not super shiny, but you know.
It's shiny enough.
Right,
That extra +1 to AC.
Yeah, I don't think anybody else in the party really uses heavy armor except Bruno, and he probably has his own chainmail.
Yep.
So
Fiona doesn't wear any armor at all.
Lantern
no.
leather armor. She could go up as high as medium, as long as it's not metal. I don't know what kind of armor that would encompass.
Wood, stone.
You can get wooden armor? That's bonkers.
Yeah.
Leather.
The
I'm already
caveat-
wearing one.
The caveat to wood armor being that it's flammable.
And the caveat to stone armor being it is very brittle.
Yeah. Yeah, there's actually some special rules behind stone armor that come out of a very specific rule set that I do not have access to.
Oh,
Well, it's mostly revolving around dwarves. So I guess that's not too surprising.
well, regardless, might as well sell the chainmail he has been using.
You are offered for a very used set of chainmail. You are offered 25 gold for it.
Ouch, but
Or you could keep it and use it for
Substrate for your
wood.
thing.
Auction it off as authentically used Delver armor.
Used by a dragon, no less.
Yeah, this is
True.
fantastic.
I'm just saying, there's a lot of city rabbits that would pay top dollar for that kind of thing.
Take your word for that.
But if mostly what you want it to be is out of your inventory and turned into fungible assets, then, you know.
Yeah, I'll take the 25.
Okay.
Oh, pleasure doing business.
Of course. Okay, cool. So I was looking for something.
Now Vellos is slightly harder to hurt.
Yes, but I need you to make an intelligence saving throw.
Why?
I'm kidding. For questioning the DM.
God gave you a stroke.
Oh, yay.
You ran into Verasta.
That would be very confusing for Vellos.
I feel like that would be confusing for anyone by intention of Verasta.
Yeah.
Probably.
Like, I think confusion is really the reaction he's looking for.
Typically. Typically speaking, yes. Okay, let that dry.
Ooh, shield.
It's brown right now, but I've got a metallic finish I'm going to put over it. That should give it a nice
Awesome.
bronze appearance. And if I like how that looks, because I like how it looks on a sample swatch, which I'm not going to show the swatch because it's an absolute mess of other paint mixing.
Understandable.
Fair enough.
As for you, Bruno, I don't know what I'm going to do with you. You're going to be easy to finish because I have red paint.
Yay.
I'm just so upset that the spatula broke.
Oh.
Well, you know, what you gonna do about it?
Very
Cry.
sad.
Cry.
Bitch, whine, moan, and complain, basically, yeah.
Exactly. You, I just need to finish up with. Dori is basically done save for the loot.
Loot.
Yay!
The only thing I am not sure about is if whether or not I want to add a glossy purple finish to you. To the purple on the clothes. I'm not sure if that would be overdoing it.
I don't
Dori
think it
like
would be
that glossy
overdoing it.
purple finish, but
Was that a yay or a nay?
I said Dori would like the glossy purple finish.
Okay. And
She
then
likes flash.
Thorn I need to get work started on as well.
Thorn is anything. If he's anything, it's patient.
Yeah.
I might try my hand on giving him the skull with lightning eyes on the back.
Yes.
Oh,
Metal
That would be
Sure.
fantastic.
Okay, so he'll be wearing a black shirt
Hell yeah.
All right.
as Thorn has developed a
times.
taste for broken world clothing.
Yes.
Freaking rocker elk.
Someone's got to be the rock star of the group.
Oh,
That's
absolutely.
Yeah.
not Dori.
Although Dori is still the lead singer.
100%.
Thorn can play
Thorn's the
bass.
basis. Yeah.
Yep. We both
I
go to
think-
the same place.
I would
Based
pick
on the number
drummer.
of times it's set off thunderclap.
The drummer would be good too.
Yeah.
Percussion.
Drummer might be Vellos.
Just saying, I'm clearly percussion. What with all the thunderclaps?
You know, that's a very fair point.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Oh,
I'd say Bruno is the manager, but when he can, he prefers to be on his own or gambling. Not
So you're
something very-
basically someone who's hanging
Yeah,
out.
he's
with
the manager.
You're hanging out with the band to mooch off their booze fund.
basically.
yeah, so the manager.
Who books you in sleazy backroom dives that have a lot of gambling.
Absolutely.
That's still being a manager. Anyways.
No, I don't think anyone's contradicted the manager nature.
Nope.
Oh, absolutely not. Anyways, though, back on topic.
Yay, topics.
Wagon's pretty much ready to go. It's, I'd say, about midday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, your friends have not left yet. For about the same reason, because it's about midday. Nobody
Well, if
wants
we
to
can-
be that person who leaves and has to set camp like half a day's march outside of town.
True.
Yeah.
Well, if we see them anywhere, we can let them know that we are also going north.
Oh yeah, if Lantern sees them while she's loitering around, she will absolutely attempt to socialize.
Yeah. Suggest we caravan together.
That's kind
Or
of what we
take
were
them-
offered.
Yes.
You guys are finally getting your dream of being a caravan.
Yay.
We don't know how far north they're going or if we're going further, so.
But hey, for a little while, you know, traveling friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
After a little while of loitering around, I'd say you'd probably see them coming up with a couple of crates of supplies for going up north.
Oh, Dori,
Yes.
I should probably buy a jacket if we're going north. Or some heavier clothes.
Okay. Shall we go?
Yeah. Fiona does not seem enthused about clothes shopping.
That's
the
okay. Dori
impression.
will be enthused for both of us.
I get
But
the
she
impression
figures that if she goes clothes shopping without Dori, Dori would probably be sad.
Out. Yes.
She'd
Hey,
be
hey,
put
Anyone
out.
else want to come with us?
Hey, before you go, Dory, can you come here a second? And he'll
Sure.
pull Dory off to the side.
Mhm.
Her name is Alara. And then he'll head back to the group.
Laura. It's a pretty name.
Bruno hears Dori asks that and dives into the wagon. Shouting, nope!
Fiona doesn't know how far north they're going, but she remembers it gets cold the farther north you go.
Nobody wants to chance their winter coat jeans.
Lantern is lit by a fire from within.
Okay, let's go and get you a coat. Probably not.
I have to be able to
Actually-
fight in them.
Well, that's
That's
why
the
you're
key.
going with. That's why
I
you're going
know.
with. Does anybody
know.
else need a winter coat? Because that's where we're headed.
Uh,
Or at least a sweater.
think I should be fine.
Okay.
Lantern already bought like enough layers when she was shopping with Dori that she is not particularly concerned.
Okay. Bruno, do you have a coat?
You know I don't use one!
Fine. And Thorn picked one up, so we should be good. Let's
Yes.
go.
Okay.
Bruno's going to rely on his winter coat.
Yes. Bruno always relies on his winter coat.
Lantern is about to witness how fluffy the group actually can get.
She's going to find you this adorable, for the record.
I have to dry all the way. Shoot. Okay, I'll just reapply.
Okay.
Like, she thinks y'all mammals are pretty cute to start with, and Fluffier is not going to change that opinion.
Yeah, no, Fiona's kind of muttering to herself about what she needs. Something to wrap her tail.
She absolutely needs a long tail scarf.
She
Thankfully,
does.
those are things to buy.
Yes.
Yep.
Because as a rat, her tail does not get as fluffy as others.
If at all.
Yes. So we get to probably the dry goods store.
Clothers.
Yeah, a tailor shop.
Clothers. Yep. Okay. You just need to check around in the coat jacket area and see what you can move in easily
Oops, I'm not the camera.
that will keep you warm.
I had to repaint all of this because I actually did not let it dry all the way. This dries deceptively.
Fiona seems a little confused. She is not used to shopping for clothes.
Dori starts looking around and starts picking up coats and holding them up to Fiona until she finds a couple that seem to be about the right size. Oh, this is a nice one. It's got lots of pockets.
Pockets can be useful.
Mm-hmm. I figured you'd like that.
There's also
Try
a
it on.
nice selection of tail scarves ranging from short to this was made for a possum.
Well, Fiona would probably range for one that was made for someone her size with a tail her,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna have to dry because it's a deceptive thing.
Like, the tail scarf is easy. She just has to find one that fits.
It's all of the other stuff where you have to be able to wear it and swing your arms around with your full normal range of motion that you need advice.
Yes.
Yes.
Dori helps her try on a few coats and give them a tryout.
After trying on each thing, Fiona would go through a range of motions to see how they work. She refrains from doing flips in the store.
High for the best.
Yep.
Good restraint.
But she does punch the air a few times.
Some are a little more restrictive than others.
Fiona will wrinkle her nose at those and take them off.
As some of these
No.
coats do kind of fall under the classification of padded armor.
No, I don't like that one. I can't move in that. Next!
What the hell is wrong with this paint?
Dori will keep providing her with options.
Yeah.
She has taken it on as one of her goals to have everybody in the group well dressed.
Well, Fiona having white fur means that most clothes probably go well on her.
This is true.
So
Actually,
Fiona,
Bruno-
it's hard. It's not hard to find things that match her.
Easily accessorized.
Yes.
Lantern and Bruno may be the only two that are a little more challenging to match color to.
Well, Lantern is already a whole lot of very, bright parrot colors.
Yeah, I mean, she's good.
Oh, yeah.
Probably much to Dori's dismay, Fiona nixes anything in colors that are way too bright. With the simple explanation being, I can't sneak around in something that's bright blue.
Size. Says you're
Pink
probably right.
stands out like a neon glow. I can't use that.
I'm surprised. You're very, very stealthy.
So, for context, instead of neon, you'd probably say stands out like a soda lamp.
Yeah, okay. Stands out like... Yeah, it doesn't matter how stealthy I am when I am a bright pink blob in a dark brown and green forest.
We gotta find Pink Dungeon. We gotta find the dungeon that's gonna make Fiona eat her words.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's gonna be MLM themed.
What?
Multi-level marketing.
Oh,
We're going to be asked to buy so many essential oils.
Oh god.
Well, I was going to cover you with a silver paint of silver finish, Vellos, but this stuff's coming out like water despite being acrylic.
Oh no.
There's
I
something
hate
wrong with this
acrylic
paint.
thin. I hate when acrylic gets weird and thin.
Well, it's supposed to be thin because it's a finishing coat. But there's something.
Yeah, but there's such a thing as too thin.
Yeah, no. This is like it's separated,
Oof.
E.
and I don't need shaking the
Metallics
bottles
are
to
really-
fix it either.
Metallics are really prone to that. Sometimes you gotta kind of get in and whisk it with some kind of
Yeah, that's. I've got a broken brush. I'm gonna use that.
You can't shake it rapidly up and down.
I've been doing that. That hasn't been working.
Oh no.
Oh no, this is all congealed on the bottom.
Oh no. Why do the metallic paints always betray you?
I don't know. Vellos, I'm gonna have to buy new metallic silver.
Okay.
These things are going to be expensive. These things are like $20
Ugh.
for 2 fluid ounce.
Fiona will eventually settle on a dark gray jacket with blue highlights.
I mean, there are some nice traveler jackets that are like brown or gray with no highlighting.
I don't know. Does Dori seem to accept those plain ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she's not going to try to put you into something you don't want. She's just going to try to encourage a little bit of color. Just
Why
a
does this
touch.
feel like a threat?
Because it is.
Not a threat, it's a promise.
So, Bruno, tell him the funniest thing about my doing this.
Bruno's not there. He went hiding.
No.
Yeah.
No, this is... I'm talking the player, not the character.
Oh dear.
Tell him what the funniest part of all of this is.
He hates clothes shopping in real life, if I remember correctly. I don't remember the last time she went clothes shopping.
I avoid it.
I buy
clothes
from
shopping.
an unknown store on the internet.
I hate clothes shopping as well, but for a completely different reason.
Yeah.
Men's clothing comes in shades of what color of depression do you want?
Plus size
Sounds about
clothing
right.
comes in. Do you want
Not
leopard
wrong.
print
Flavor of the
or
month
something that
depression.
inexplicably has the Eiffel Tower on it for no reason?
But yeah, no. Fiona will appease Dori a little bit by getting the dark gray jacket with blue accents. Because it's mostly dark gray.
But
And
it's
it brings
not
out
enough
her
color to be
eyes.
stylish.
Plus dark
Now, are
blue
you going to
goes
get a
almost
tail
black.
scarf that matches the highlights?
Fiona narrows her eye at the tail scarf selection. I don't know.
Is there one in the same blue?
Probably somewhere in there.
Dori will go searching.
Fiona will let Dori do the searching because she's indifferent.
Hey, Bruno. Think of Dori right now as grandma.
Ah. Yeah, no. My decision to hide was the right one.
Catherine is the only one who's given her a satisfying montage moment like she's looking for so far.
Exactly. Okay. Now, Dori will also... She's not sure she really needs one, but she's going to go and find herself a nice, heavier coat as well.
Easy enough.
Fiona will pay for the clothes. How much are they?
We're looking at we're essentially looking at traveler's clothes. So
What, like 4 silver or something?
something like that. That is too far. I am really good at passing by the Adventurers Gear page.
It's very easy to do.
I have a bookmark permanently kept in that page.
So do I, but I still end up going past it. Now you laugh. But you also laugh.
If it's any consolation, I'm laughing because my cat keeps going up and licking the speakers.
The sound tastes good. Yeah, about 5 silver for just the jacket and the tail scarf.
Cool.
Dori, you're able to find a blue one that matches, but there's also sitting next to a more regular gray one.
Which one feels warmer and cozier?
They're about the same. They're the same material.
Then I'll take the blue one.
Poor Fiona.
Yeah, definitely grandma.
Poor Fiona.
Love her dearly. I refuse to ever go shopping with her, especially clothes shopping.
You get the option.
And I am so glad for that fact.
Poor
Fiona will accept the blue tail scarf with a sigh.
Heavy is the sigh.
Thank you, Dori.
Problem? I like helping people get the right clothes.
Yeah, I'm not used to shopping for clothes. The monastery used to provide everything.
Well, that's why you take somebody like me along. Because where your level of comfort is the monastery. My father's a tailor and my mother's a dressmaker. Clothes, I know.
Ah.
So I wouldn't have been handing you things that weren't going to hold up. That's important too.
I'm sure Dori would love to see the clothing selection at the monastery.
I'm sure Dori figures that it's beige, and gray beige.
Available in up to 3 sizes.
Yes.
So mean.
Small, medium, and large.
There's brown in there.
Maybe white or ecru. Not real white, like unbleached white, but
To be fair, I'd rather that than bleached white.
generally leaves the fabric feeling a little nicer.
It does.
Yep.
Dori will link arms with Fiona on the way back.
Fiona gives Dori a weird look, but doesn't move away. Because someone much taller than her is attempting to link arms with her. It's like, are you sure this that looks uncomfortable for you, Dori?
No. I like connecting with people.
Here, Dori, stay still.
Okay.
How strong are you?
Hang on, I have to look.
Oh dear.
14.
Okay.
Not
Stay
exactly
still.
weak. Okay.
And Fiona will clamber up your back and sit on your shoulders.
Okay. Dori grabs onto her legs and kind of gives him a pat.
There. This should be easier for you than linking arms with someone like 3 feet shorter than you.
That's about what I thought was going to happen.
And now Fiona gets a better view.
Yes.
Everybody
A
wins.
few looks at this while you're heading back to the wagon.
Dori will just smile at them.
If anyone makes any if anyone makes any disparaging looks at them, Fiona will flip them off where Dori can't see.
And you quickly
Probably for the
eliminate any
best.
potential notion of mother-daughter relationship.
Dori by this point is practically skipping. Also eliminating any idea of mother-daughter relationship.
Oh
Dear.
Bruno, by the way, has stayed hidden in the wagon the entire time they were gone.
Bruno is a coward, and this will be remembered.
When it comes to Dori and clothes shopping, he has no shame.
Blanchard would like to offer him some mead.
Bruno is now a drunk coward.
I was about to say, he accepts it.
Dori is unsurprised that Bruno vanished when clothes shopping was mentioned. Dori can remember many occasions she had to be dragged yelling and screaming to get new clothing when his old ones were falling off of him.
Mm-hmm.
Her parents also remember these occasions vividly.
So Dori and Fiona come back to the wagon with Fiona on Dori's shoulders.
Yes. Dori is looking exceptionally happy and practically skipping.
Oh, I know who I'm sending to sacrifice next time she talks about clothes shopping again. Mumbled
Fiona
under his
will give
breath.
Bruno a look.
This was mumbled under his breath.
You should have opened up
Okay.
with that.
I said that before
Okay.
anyone else said anything. It's like, that was said right at the end of my sentence.
Got it. There. I've started painting Bruno. Now he's harder to see.
Yeah, Salt and Dori would. That would have been an oil and water situation.
I think Dori would scare the ever-loving hell out of Salt if they ever were to meet.
Oh, jeez.
And
I think
Dori
Dori-
would just be delighted with Salt, want to get to know her even better.
I think she would be, you know those old Pepe Le Pew cartoons? She would be the cat. Just constant running.
So I think we've kind of run out of
I don't think any of us really have ideas about what we want to do prior
we
to.
call the session early, and then next week we can take off with heading towards the dungeon.
I think that would make a lot more sense. We don't really have enough time to do anything big.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good stopping point right here.
Yeah.
The next session will be 2 weeks, right?
We'll see if
Probably.
we have. Yeah, assume we'll have our next session 2 weeks from now. But
You'll keep us posted
there's a
if we
change in
can.
plans, I'll keep you posted.
Cool.
Gotcha.
And until then,
Right on.
I thank you all for coming, and I will see you all again in
2
various
weeks.
periods of time, but all of you together at once in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Woo.
Later.
Woo!